Hi everyone, and welcome to our Touch Base Thursday Facebook Live for February 24th. As you are coming on, please comment and tell me hello. And I see I have hair sticking up all over the place. Please comment, tell me hello as you're coming in, and we will get started in just a couple of minutes. Okay, there we go. I think I'm good. I think I am. I have another new background. Can you guys see this new one I have again? I love it. Hi, Sonia. Hi, Carol. Welcome, ladies and Janet. I see all of you popping on, so welcome to my Facebook Live for Thursday, the 24th of February. Courtney, hello. Those of you that might be new to my Facebook Live, welcome. I am Kim Vogel from Mount Pleasant, Michigan, and excited to be going live with you. This is my final new backdrop. You really can't see the bottom though. It's kind of like an ombre with pink on the bottom, and I'm kind of disappointed that you can't see it all. So anyway, first of all, I just want to let you guys all know that you're going to be hearing music in the background tonight. And I'm hoping it's not too much of a distraction. So if it is, you're going to have to let me know. Claire did not have dance this week. Our dance studio has a midwinter break. And so they changed her time of her cello lesson to 6:30 my time. So they are right above where I'm sitting in my basement doing Claire's cello lesson. So if you hear cello music, enjoy it, and hopefully it doesn't overpower me talking. So I debated whether I should postpone my Facebook Live to 7:30 when they were done, or to just go with it, and I decided to go with it. So hopefully it doesn't interfere too much with my live with all of you tonight. So she does do a good job, Karen. She really does. So she is working on getting ready for state competition. You know, I mentioned that she scored a 1, which is the highest you can score at the regional event. So they are getting her ready to go for her state competition next month. So, oh, Carol, I like that idea. Then you'll see the bottom better, because yes, it's so much more prettier on the bottom. So anyway, here in Michigan this week, we've had just crazy weather. We had a huge ice storm in Mount Pleasant. So the girls have not had any school the last 2 weeks. Well, Natalie has still had her CMU classes, and she still has had to work and all of that. But we didn't have any school at their high school. Today the back roads are still just a glare of ice. And then tonight we're supposed to get more snow. So I think we're supposed to get 2 to 4 inches of snow tonight. We're under a winter weather advisory again. So she may not have school, or I say she because Natalie's only there 1 hour, but they might not have school again. So we'll have to see how that all goes. Anyway, so I'd love for you guys to tell me if you can hear them at all on my live, because I can, just don't know if you guys can. So anyway, I just want to make sure it's not too much of a distraction as we go along tonight. So hi to Joanne and Janie. Hi Lori, a few of you. Karen coming in as I've been talking. So anyway, this week has been crazy busy. So I know a few of you have given me orders to put in, and you're waiting on some things from me. And I just want to say that I apologize for the delay. But we've had a lot of what I call our first of the lasts this week, meaning that Natalie's last dance team performance was supposed to be Tuesday, got postponed to Wednesday night. And then, you guys, you can hear it faintly. Okay, good. I'm glad. And then we had today, from right before my live, was her dance banquet, where they gave out awards and things. And then, yes, and it was parent night or senior night. So last night was senior night. So we walked up with her for that. I gotta say, it's a win when you don't cry. I'm a crier. Like, I cry watching a sad movie. I cry. It's just how I am. But I made it through senior night without crying. I was a little shaky, but I didn't cry. And I made it through tonight's dance banquet without crying. So I call that a win. So anyway, it has been really, really crazy busy. Oh good, you guys, I'm glad that it's very soft. Like I said, I just was it's the first time that they've actually been But my living room is right above where I'm at in my basement, and that's where they do their lesson. So I'm sure when you hear, we call him Jamie, his name is Dr. Feist. When you hear him play, it will be very loud. He is just beautiful at playing a cello. So anyway, so that's kind of what's been on my plate this week with Ice Storm and rearranging our schedules. And Natalie had her a professional dance photo shoot done that she paid for on her own and wanted to do with a professional photographer who does dance stuff. I posted one of them on my page, and so we're waiting to get the rest of the proofs. We should have them either yet tonight or tomorrow. So it's just been a crazy busy week trying to juggle everything that we had. So anyway, I'm glad that you guys are okay with that background music. Like I said, I just didn't know. And after I confirmed the time of 6:30, I went, oh crap. Because normally he comes like right around 10 to 8, and as I'm getting done, they're setting up. So anyway, it is what it is. This is my life, you guys. This is how I roll. So anyway, just wanted to say thank you for enjoying that background music, because I didn't think of it until tonight. Probably about 5:30, I went, oh shoot. And I thought, we're going to try it. So, all right. So a lot of you who are have watched me, you know my drill. If you share my video, you get into my drawing for my prizes. So, and the whole reason for sharing my video is to share my love of stamping, your love of stamping with your friends, all that awesome stuff. And I'm going to actually be doing a referral program the month of March. So we look for more information to come, so that if you refer people to my Facebook Lives or to following me, I'm giving away prizes and awesome things. So be looking for that. But if you shared last week, you got put into the drawing to receive a couple of prizes. They were the Gilded Gems and then the Scalloped Lace Trim. So we have two winners. The winner of the Gilded Gems is Beth Merkel. So congratulations to Beth. Beth, that will go in the mail to you. And then the winner of the lace trim is Carol Grove. So congratulations to Beth and to Carol. And if you won my prizes last week, they just went out finally today. With all of our ice and icky weather, I didn't get them out. So just so you guys know, they are on their way, but they are a little bit delayed. Normally, I get things out a little bit faster than that. And then the two prizes for, hi Debbie, for this week are the Square Vellum Doilies and I have a bolt of this Pale Papaya and white ribbon, which is really, really pretty as well. So we will draw our lucky winners for those next week. And again, I'm just going to say it one more time for anybody joining me late. You're going to be serenaded with cello music, because my daughter's having her lesson with her professor right above my where I do my live in our living room. So I do my lives in my basement. So if you're hearing music in the background, enjoy it. I'm glad it's not too loud, so that you guys can still hear me okay. So anyway, a few things I have in the way of announcements before we get started with my presentation for you. So celebration is coming to an end. If there was still some things you wanted from the celebration flyer, you have until the 28th of February. So it's only like 4 more days to put in any of those $50 or $100 qualifying orders to get a celebration item. Okay, so I want to make sure you know about that. And then the joining promotion. So if you are interested and getting a permanent discount on your Stampin' Up! Products by taking advantage of our Join promotion. You get 2 free stamp sets, and you pick $125 in product. You only pay $99. And then you can get 20% off all of your future orders by ordering your product directly through yourself. So if it's something you're interested in and you're not sure how to get started, let me know. Reach out to me. Shoot me a message. I can definitely help you. The process is very, very simple. And so let me help you if that's what's holding you back, okay? My classes, a lot of my classes for February are closing, and I will be sending out a lot of those kits tomorrow. My mail day did not happen on Wednesday. Wednesday's normally my mail day. So a few things went out, but last night we had our parent night that was supposed to have been on Tuesday night got both postponed to Wednesday. So I did not work in my basement like I normally do on Wednesdays. So classes will be going out tomorrow. So just so you're aware of that. And then I do have a new class opening. So look for that to come out tomorrow. It is a Heart and Home class using the beautiful, there's two bundles that kind of go with the Heart and Home bundle. One is it's bees, and one is actually like a pretty flowers. So that will be going out for people to register for that class in the next little bit. And then the final thing that I have, I want to make sure you guys know about, because it's going to be closing in the next day or two, is my online creative escape for cystic fibrosis, kind of like a retreat in a box. So if you're interested in receiving any of my optional classes, the make and takes, the product, all that awesome stuff, that registration will be closing soon. And so just want to make sure you guys know that all the proceeds from that event goes to our Cystic Fibrosis Foundation here in Michigan, in memory of my son's friend Brad, who passed away 9 years ago of cystic fibrosis while he was waiting for a lung transplant. And so it's been an event that's been near and dear to my heart, and one that I've been doing now for, I think it's 9 years. So it's been pretty awesome. So anyway, and I just want to thank all of you who have already purchased that, or coming to my in-person event, or supported that event in the last 9 years. I really, truly, truly appreciate it. Okay, so with that, I'm thinking I covered everything regards announcements and how crazy. Beth, I will post the link in the comments right after I'm done with my Facebook Live. And then I'll also make sure I put it in the description of the video, but that doesn't usually happen till tomorrow. So I will post it, and I'll tag you in that as well. So I sure will. I will make sure you guys get that. So I have Courtney and I see Beth. So I'll make sure you guys get that information. So with that, I think I told you guys what's up for grabs this next week. Okay, so let's see here. What I'm going to be showing you guys tonight. So I decided to take one last chance with all of our celebration stuff, and kind of go over one of them that I haven't really played a whole lot with, and it is the Catching Butterflies stamp set. I don't know if this got the attention it deserved because it's so cute, but there are so many different things that you could do with this stamp set. And then I paired it with the Rainbow and Happiness Designer Series paper. And I know you guys heard me talk about this paper, and I used it last week in my Facebook Live with the awesome otters, but I'm going to be using it again because that's how awesome this paper is. One side is definitely kind of geared towards the rainbow bundle in our January through June catalog, but the other side you can use for so many other different things. And so that is kind of why I paired it with the Catching Butterflies. I made a really, really cute and pretty awesome 3D project. And then I have some other cards I'm going to be sharing with you, and a couple little fun techniques and things that you can do. So with that, I'm going to transition my camera down and we will get started. And you can all enjoy that music. So that is him playing right now. Okay. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm so glad that all of you are okay with that. Like I said, it really kind of at first was like, oh shoot, I didn't realize that that was going to be the same night. So anyway, or the same time, I should say. Okay, so here are some of our awesome projects for tonight. Let me make sure I get everything out of the way. We're going to start with that really awesome 3D cute little project that I have sitting right here that you're looking at. So many times when I have events and things, I usually provide, instead of providing like making lemonade or providing anything like a soft drink, I usually hand out crystal light packets for everyone to be able to kind of do their own cute little like drink that they might want. So I was, looking at them sitting. I have a bunch of these sitting out because I had a small event in my basement this last weekend. And I had a bunch of these sitting out for everyone, and I thought, how cute would it be to create some kind of a little 3D project? So if I wanted to actually put some of these in and give them out at my events, it's all about presentation, right? That I could come up with a neat way to do that. And I'm going to make this comment because I'm sure Kay, who helps me a lot, is looking at that going, yep, I see a lot of me making those in my future because she helps me. Oh, thank you, Courtney. Yep. Anyway, so that should be better. But I can hear Kay saying, oh, yep, I see that in my future, because I thought it would be neat to kind of do these as a little way of giving out little gifts instead of with a presentation of it, instead of just handing somebody one of these awesome little things. And this little thing that I created, I whipped this up literally today after I got home from work before the banquet. And this is literally, it holds 2 of them. So you could adjust the size of the opening to just put 1 in there if you wanted to. But I know, Kay, right? So anyway, and this is so simple to make. And like I said, I literally kind of just come up with this on my own. And I'm going to show you a neat little technique right here where I use some designer series paper to do the little dress instead of coloring that little dress, okay? So for this, and this is literally scrap paper, again, another win that Kay is going to enjoy. I do need to find my trimmer real quick, so let me grab that. Because I didn't score this one. So what I did is, this is literally a scrap of designer series paper. This is cut 2, oh, it is scored. Sorry, I did not need my trimmer. Oops, I didn't know Natalie did that for me. I made her come down and help me. So this is literally 2 by 9, okay? And it was it was 12 inches. I already had these 2-inch strips cut. So I must have used this paper for something different. And so this is 9 by 2. And then I scored it at 3 and then again at 3.5, okay? And then I took one of my little circles. So this is just one of the circles from the layering circles. And I cut a hole in it near the top, okay? So all I'm gonna do is I'm going to then fold this up and you can hear Claire, I know, isn't that awesome? So all I did is folded that up to make a little bit of a spot and a slot down there for those little holders to fit in there. And then I just did a tag top on the top part of this. So I used one of our little tag topper things here. This is one of our punches. This is in the annual catalog. And I like to always look at the back and make sure I have it centered. So I'm gonna get a good punch to that. And then all I did was adhered a little bit of adhesive. Now you're probably gonna wanna use tear and tape on this. For purposes of demonstration, I'm just gonna use some seal. I know, isn't she sounding good? I know, it's, like I said, I knew you guys would be able to hear her, but I'm like, oh, well, okay. And then from there, these will just literally slide in. Now, if you want to, you could also make the hole a little bit bigger and then put something behind it, like with a window sheet. But I wanted to use my little girl stamp set because that's kind of what I do. And this holds 2 of them. So now if you had an event where they were at it all day or a whole weekend event, you might want to give out 2 of these. Otherwise, you could just do 1, and you could even make that hole a little bit smaller if you wanted to. But isn't that a cute little way of making a cute little holder to just give out your little packets? But I do this all the time instead of having to make lemonade, so then people can kind of just make whatever they want, or they can just use the bottled water just with water. So anyway, so cool, right? Oh, and then I did add a little bit of the ribbon in there. So if you haven't ever done that before, I just cut a little bit of ribbon. I know you guys can hear that like plain as day. You're getting serenaded. All right. Hi, Chris. Welcome. So all I do is I fold it in half and I put the part that's folded through. And then that goes up like that. I think they're both playing right now. They're playing both different parts. So kind of gotten used to knowing when one's playing and the other. So I'm hoping though it's not a big distraction, you guys, because if it is, I will do the best I can and wrap up before, you know, I drive you guys too crazy. Okay, so those are gonna just go in there like that. You kind of get that idea. So let me show you how I did this cute little circle. So with that, I just cut out 2 different layering circles, 2 different sizes, okay? And I just colored the little girl, but I'm going to show you how I added the little dress using a scrap of that gingham paper. So all I did is I stamped the girl. Now I know the girl didn't stamp the greatest with the hair, but all I'm after is this cute little dress. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the dress. Now when you are doing this technique, you want to make sure that you don't cut on the line. You want to make sure that you cut around the black line because you don't want to miss the detail of that. Can you see how you still have the stamped image look? If I was to cut on the line, you miss some of the detail. So with this, you really have to cut around it and not on the line, okay? And I'm even not gonna even use her hands. I know I feel bad cutting her little hands off. I only want this little dress. So this is a way if you don't like to color. Now, if you have people that don't like to cut and fussy cut, then this might not be something you want to do. But if you'd rather fussy cut than color, or you're like, I don't have a lot of colors to be able to do a lot of stuff, this is a neat way to, oh, good, you guys, I'm glad. Okay, I won't ask that question again then about her playing, but just so you guys know, that's what's going on up there. Okay, so here you have the cute little dress, right? And then all you do is adhere this down to the little stamped image. And so that's a neat way of adding some more design and more depth or whatever to your, maybe I'll have to have her do that all the time so you guys can hear her all the time. So on my sample, I actually used a little bit of the liquid glue to adhere it better on her little arms, but I don't have it here right now, so just know that that's what I did. Then from here, I just colored it. So from here, I used mine, let me find my ivory here. I used the ivory to color her face and her little hands and feet. Oh, Patty says to get a friend to fussy cut it for you. Patty does not like to fussy cut. So yeah, Patty normally finds someone to do it for her. Okay, so we are going to color in. Oh, I gotta color in her little neck. And I'm gonna color in her eyes here. So we are actually trying to get Claire a new cello, and her professor, like I said, we call him Jamie, but you know, she calls him Dr. Feist. It's funny, he's like, you can just call me Jamie. You only have to call me that when we're out and about. So I thought that was kind of cute. But anyway, we're trying to find her a new cello because when they start playing instruments at school, they basically get what we call a student version or a starter cello. And you can only produce so much music with it. Like you can only play so loud with it. It's definitely that. It's just kind of like a starter cello. And she is ready, according to him, for a different cello. He's like, we've got to get her something different because he feels it's holding her back just a little bit. So he actually was someplace downstate, and they have one, a lady might be selling it. She was getting it fixed and getting it ready to sell. He sent me a picture of it. He was downstate earlier this week, and so we may have found her a cello, so I'm really excited. And if not, we have a plan to go to get some sent up to us from a place in Chicago. So that's our new thing now, is to try to come up with a new cello for my girl. So, all right, so what you saw me do as I was talking here is I colored her hair because I wanted a little bit of color to this. So I colored her hair with a light Daffodil Delight, and then I'm coming in with the crumb cake. You could use light or dark. And I'm just gonna kind of give this little girl highlights, or in this case, low lights. I just want a little bit of texture to her hair because I don't want it all to be blonde. Oh, Philomena, thank you. Yes, I just switched out my watch band yesterday because the one I had said Hello Winter, and I was over winter. And so I had to change it out. And yeah, you like coffee too. So I'm a coffee person. So when I found this one, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to get that one. And so I just changed it, and I love it. It's so cute and dainty. All right, so then from there, all I'm gonna do is adhere these two together. So, and I used the same, the same color. This is the fresh, the fresh fuchsia. Now the paper that I used, so this is not part of the other paper you're gonna be seeing me use tonight. So, tonight I'm going to be really using the rainbow, sunshine and rainbows paper. But for this one, because I needed it to be 2x9, I had to find some different designer paper. So this is part of the pansy paper that's from our Stampin' Up annual catalog, okay? But there you can see I've colored the cute little girl. And then I'm just gonna put a couple of dimensionals on this, but isn't this a cute project for different events? Again, a neat little way to just hand out. A lot of times when I do events, I give out little gifts and things. And I'm like, you know what? Normally I have these sitting out, so this would be a neat way to just do them and hand them out to people, and then they could change them up if they wanted and share with their friends if they wanted a different kind. But there you have a cute little project using just some scraps of designer series paper. And this one I can tell you is a Kim classic. I came up with this literally today as I was setting up for my Facebook Live, and they were all sitting there. I'm like, oh, I should make a little thing to put all those in. So Kay, I love it. So like I mentioned, Kay does a lot of my my projects for different events, and so I was waiting for her to be like, yeah, that's a cute little one. And so simple though, so simple. So you could change up the theme of this, do it with anything that you wanted to. You could change this little here. I just chose to use the little girl since that's kind of my theme from the Catching Butterflies bundle. But these ones right here would be great to give like at a little girl birthday party. And again, you could always just put one in there. If I just did one, I'd probably make my circle opening not quite so big. You could use a little bit of a different one. But anyway, I just thought it was cute and thought I would share with you a neat little project to use, especially this summer. You know, I've been thinking spring, and summer's right around the corner, right? So anyway, yeah, I like those too. Glad you all like them as well. Okay, so let me show you the card. Well, we're gonna be doing this card first, but let me show you the stamp set, because I realized I got right into that first project and didn't really show you the stamp set. So this is the Catching Butterflies stamp set. And I love this one. It's so perfect for like little girl birthday cards, or I mean almost any kind of birthday cards. But I see we have some new people joining us. So hi to Wendy and I think Marilyn and Diana. Welcome, ladies. Okay, so this is going to be the stamp set we're going to be using tonight. Now this is a celebration item that you can get for free with a $50 order. Now that promotion is part of our celebration promotion, and it ends February 28th. So you have to get those orders in before then if you want to get anything from Celebration. And then we have the Rainbow and Happiness, or sorry, Sunshine and Rainbows designer paper. And you can see this pack is a huge pack because I've been shoving a lot of the pages I haven't been using all into one. But so some of these are definitely designed to go with the rainbow bundle. But some of these you can use with so many other things. I paired this, if you watched me live last week, you saw me pair this with the Awesome Otter stamp set as well. So now I'm pairing it with the Catching Butterflies. So if you have not gotten this paper yet, I'm going to miss it when it's gone. At first, I didn't think I was going to like it, but it has been so pretty. And it's great for Easter cards. I mean, those are perfect Easter colors too. Okay, so the first card I'm going to share with you today is this one right here. And this one you're just going to see where I really did not do any coloring of the cute little girl. And what I did on this one is I just stamped with the Memento Black ink onto colored cardstock. So again, you're going to see different little ways in which you can use the stamp set. Again, if you don't like coloring, this is an ideal card to be able to make. So for this one I chose, oh, and I should tell you, I will be posting the dimensions of that little crystal light holder in my description as well. But I'll tell you it again because it's so simple. This literally is 2 by 9, and then I scored it at 3 and 3.5. Okay, and then I just folded it up. Quick and simple. Okay, so for this I used the Misty Moonlight. Now Misty Moonlight is one of our in colors that is, I think, going to be leaving us in the next couple of months. So I'll be talking about our in colors here in the next couple of weeks on my Facebook page. They go fast once the retired list of things comes out and we get ready for our new annual catalog. But this is one of the in colors that's going to be leaving. So I just want to make sure that you stock up. I had to stock up on this because we're using it for Natalie's open house. And so I'm like, ooh, I got to get my hands on that. Okay, so for this one, I used a mat of the Pool Party and I ran it through with the texture embossing folder. Okay, so that's just the Tasteful Textures. I use it a lot. It's my go-to. Now, the only embellishment that I used on all of these cards is this awesome mesh. So this mesh is from our annual catalog. It is the metallic mesh ribbon, and it looks hard to use, but it's really, really not. It's really quite easy, and it paired together with these projects, so good. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move my card base. We're going to work on getting this layer ready to adhere down. I don't want to adhere it down to my card base till we add all of these things and add the ribbon around it. So to start, I'm just going to adhere. I have 2 pieces of designer series paper that's cut 4 by 3. And I'm just going to adhere these onto my card, okay? Again, if you wanted to use the different colors, you could, or the different sides. You can pick any ones that you want from this bundle. I chose these two just because I did. Okay, I'm putting it at an angle like that. And then this awesome little trim. So now this trim, you can open it up and leave it like this if you wanted to. You could bunch it up, which is what I did. You're going to see me do that here in just a minute. So for this, I'm just going to cut again a piece big enough to go around that. I know my scissors are here because I just had them. Where did I put my scissors? There they are. Do you ever do that? I mean, I know I mentioned that at least probably once a month. They're right in front of your face, but you can't find them. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive to the two little sides of this. And I am going to bunch this up a little bit. And I'm going to start it on here. And I'm just going to, again, it's all bunched up. Bring it around to the front and adhere it down on this side. And again, I got a little too much, so I'm just going to snip that off. Okay? But you can see there I kind of bunched it together, right? Oh, Karen, you'll love the otter. That otter is so cute. Like I said, I'm going to miss the playing with some of these celebration products. That's the only thing. As a demonstrator, you know, we only have a couple months during celebration, and then they go, I shouldn't say they go away. I mean, we just can't, I don't like to use them because you can't get them anymore. And then I feel sad because I can't use the awesome products. Okay, so this little shape right here is one of the shapes. I believe it's from the Stitched So Sweetly dies, and I cut this out in advance. And you see how I got the misty moonlight behind here? So what I did for that is I just cut them, and this is cut the exact same size as the yellow one. In advance, I did stamp the little girl and some little butterflies, like she's catching butterflies. They're the same size. So all I'm gonna do is cut this in half. Nothing fancy here. I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive to the top and the bottom of this. And then we're just going to align this on here like this. So you can see you got the little bit there. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. And then you're going to see that I did cut off a little bit on the sides. Now you don't have to do that if you don't want to. You could leave that on there. You just want to make sure you kind of get the same amount there. So what I did on this one is I cut off the excess around here. But you don't have to. If you like how it looks like that, you could. So for this one, I'm going to leave that on there so you can see a little bit of that misty moonlight kind of all the way around. The only place is right in here where there's not, where you cut it. Okay, but if you cut it in half, it kind of works good, looks good. All right, so now we're going to add some dimensionals to the back of this, and we're going to add this to the card. I did use my Stampin' Blends just to kind of outline the girl just a little bit. You can see her dress is outlined a little, and I will bring that up closer to the camera so you can see that better. But I did outline the dress and the net a little bit with one of the daffodil markers. And that was just to add a little bit of definition to it. So you can see I'm just kind of going around it like this and adding some texture to the lines. But I'm not going to actually color the whole thing. Okay, I'm just going to add a little bit of texture. Now you wouldn't have to do this if you don't have the blends. You could leave it just the way it is, okay? And then for my little greeting, this is also from the Stitched So Sweetly dies. And I did ink around the edges of it just to add a little bit of color and depth to that one. So if you haven't done this before, the whole ink distressing, it's very relaxing. I love it. I'm going to use a sponge dauber, and I'm just going to go into the Night of Navy. And then you just kind of go around the outer edges of whatever it is you want to ink distress. I find it very relaxing to do this. And then I just kind of took off whatever ink I still had in this, kind of swiped it across the top just to kind of tone down the white just a little. Okay, so you could use our sponge dauber. You could use a sponge if that's what you have. You could even, if you really wanted to do the part in the middle with our blending brush, but I wouldn't probably use a blending brush for that little space. Unless you're making a lot of these, then you probably could. And then I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on this and add that to my card like that. Okay, so there's an example of how you can use this stamp set without really having to do much coloring, okay? So I really like that one. Again, you could get creative. You could use, I used So Saffron here. You could also use like our petal pink would be a nice one. Any of our subtles, you know, like a pear pizzazz, anything subtle would look really nice using this kind of a theme and template where you're not having to color and you're stamping with black or a dark ink onto a colored cardstock, okay? All right, so my next card is going to be this one right here. And this one, again, I used this awesome little trim. Isn't that cute? So for this one, I did do some coloring, and I did also use those same dies there. And then I used one of the rainbows from the rainbow paper. So for this one, I wanted to incorporate a color from the Pretty Rainbow. And this is a color of cardstock I don't use a lot. This is the Mango Melody. And so I'm just gonna fold this in half for my card base. And then I paired this with, let me find it here. Here we go. With dimensional backs. How's that? Dimensional backs. I paired it with this, and I may have to cut a piece of Designer Series paper, so you're gonna see me do impromptu stuff here. So this piece right here is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. You can see I put a piece of this really pretty pool party designer paper behind it. That is from this pack right here, but I did not cut one out for myself tonight. So we are going to improvise with this one right here. So this is the neat thing. This is the fun part. We're going to improvise with this one right here, and I'm going to cut myself a 3 by 3 piece. And again, you can use any of these papers because they are all going to work perfectly with the coloring. And I like to do 3 by 3 because then you get 4 of them out of one piece of the Designer Series paper, okay? So it's gonna look a little different because I took a different pattern, but you get the gist of it. So we're gonna do, again, I'm gonna put my card base off to the side, and we're gonna do a little bit of layering here. So I'm gonna put my 3 by 3 piece of Designer Series paper onto my 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 piece. And then I'm just going to adhere this down to the top part of my mat. Now this I ran through, this is Pool Party 5 1/4 by 4, and I ran it through the Stamp Emboss die cut machine using the Hive embossing folder. Also a new embossing folder in our January through June catalog. So I'm just going to adhere that down like that. And now we're going to put some ribbon through that. And again, I used the same mesh ribbon. So I'm just going to, again, cut a piece wide enough to go all the way across. Aren't these cards so cute? And I thought this ribbon was perfectly paired with it. You know, the whole sparkly and the whole, and it's one that I don't use a lot. I think you got to have just the right kind of cards to be able to, in stamp sets, to be able to use this ribbon. This ribbon, if any of you remember, actually came out, I think it was last year, maybe the year before, with a Halloween bundle. But look at how versatile it is to use on so many different things. Okay. So we're going to adhere this down to my card base. You can tell when they get kind of loud up there, playing kind of loud. I love the sparkle too, Janet. It just kind of sets these cards off, especially with the rainbow on this one, the whole rainbow, like you're, you know, yeah. And then I'm just going to tie a little knot onto this one. And you'd think this ribbon would be hard to work with. It's really not. It's actually a pretty easy ribbon to work with. Okay, I'm just going to tie that. And I'm just going to cut off my little tails here. Okay, so far so good. And the neat thing is this can move wherever I need it to. All right, and then I used again, the Stitch So Sweetly dies. I think they're from that. Cut out 2 of them that are coordinating. Exactly, very blingy. And these I'm going to adhere down together, and those are going to get glued down to my card. Now I did use dimensionals to glue the whole piece down. So this I'm just going to, and I'm going to color it after I glue it down. So this I just adhered down, and it fits perfectly inside of the other stitched scalloped rectangle. So this scalloped rectangle is Bermuda Bay cardstock. So it pulls out the Bermuda Bay from the awesome little rainbow right there. I'm gonna add some dimensionals to the back of that. And I'm just gonna put one in all 4 corners here. And then, oh, thanks, Marsha. I said I was so worried about it when I realized that conflict. I went, oh my gosh. Like, I don't mind it if it's like right at the end, but this I knew would be like smack dab right when I started. All right. And then I have one of the rainbow images. And that is from the Designer Series paper. So you can see it right here. Right now they're both playing. When you hear it really loud, they're both playing. And all I'm gonna do is cut out one of those little rainbows. So I'm just kind of fussy cutting this. Aren't they cute? I know, Judy, they are. Now this class was one of my classes that I offered, was it last month? And I might have a couple of these kits left. So if anyone is interested in them, just let me know, shoot me a message. I might, I'm not sure. I may have to look on that, but I think I might. And then I just added the rainbow up on the top there. I know these were the make and takes I think that I did for my team meeting. So I do a meeting with my team every month, and we always provide them with some kind of make and take. Okay, so then that's just gonna go there. Now for the coloring on this, and I'm just gonna color a little bit on this one because I want to get to my other cards, but I colored her dress. So this is what I did with most of my cards when you see the coloring on them. I colored the dress with the light blend of whatever color I used. So in this case, I used light and dark Pool Party. So I colored the whole dress with the light, and then I went back on top of it with the dark. And that's where I just kind of went over on top of the lines to add a little bit of texture along the bottom on the sleeve. So just like that, you can see it just adds a little bit of texture to her dress. I used ivory for my my flesh on all of the cards. That was before we had the awesome blends that we had with our all together bundle. Now, if you did not get the flesh tone or skin toned blends, they are sold out, but they will be coming back in our annual catalog. So you'll be able to get them then, okay? So just know that they're not completely gone for good. You can still get them. You're just gonna have to wait a little bit longer, unfortunately. On this one, I also colored the hair yellow, added in a little bit of the brown. Again, not everyone's hair is always one color. I know mine isn't. But we have some people have actually natural highlights. I actually get some low lights put in my hair, but my hair is dark. So and this time I'm gonna make them a little bit darker. I'm gonna use the dark crumb cake. And the neat thing is this hair's already kind of got some sections built in. So you can just kind of pick a little bit here and there to color, to build in a little bit of texture to her hair. And then the final thing I'm gonna show you, and I did this on almost all of the cards with the basket, or with her net, is I just followed the outline. So I'm just gonna make a circle. And that's it. Ooh, now they're playing something fun. Okay, and then I just, like I said, finished coloring that. I did then put a little, this is the stamp from the stamp set. Stamp set's got 3 different greetings. You make my heart happy, celebrate every beautiful thing, and collecting sweet thoughts of you. So I'm just going to cut the you make me happy. I'm just gonna trim off the ends a little bit. And I added that, oh, I'm gonna cover up my butterfly. That's okay, I forgot about that. I'm just gonna add that down here in the bottom with some, so this one's not gonna have a butterfly on it. She's just gonna be catching, we don't know, it's gonna be a surprise. And so I'm gonna add that with a couple of dimensionals. But again, you don't have to have her catching anything. It can just make it look like she's trying to catch something. Or I could have stamped a butterfly over there too. So you can get creative with where you wanna put the cute little butterflies, but I'm gonna cover this one up. And I put that up high enough just so that you can still see the little white scallopy edge underneath of it. Make that even. There you go. Isn't that cute? Rainbow above the cute little girl. Oh, thank you, Mary. I'm glad that you guys like that music. Maybe I'll have her do that more often. She'll love me for that one. Okay. So they're really playing, like right now they're doing what's called fiddle music. They're really fiddling up there. Okay, so I've gotten to where I kind of know those kinds of things, you guys. It's kind of been fun to learn with her. Okay, so this is the next one. Again, another really cute card using some of the different papers and things. So this one I chose to use the striped paper, and I used the Granny, Granny Apple Green. I sometimes say the wrong thing. Oh, Janie has a really good idea. So the brass butterflies is something that I could use on those cards instead of using the stamp. So the brass butterflies are in the January through June catalog and are part of a different bundle. But I always talk about how you can cross your different embellishments and ribbons over into so many different things. So, yeah. Okay. All right, so then I have my little piece of cardstock or colored paper right here. And I don't think I cut myself a little strip of the green, but that's okay. We're gonna just make it without. So what I did do is I cut a little piece of the green to put right here from a different piece, but I don't think I've cut that. At least I'm not seeing it here. So we're gonna just make it without. You'll see it'll still be really, really cute. So we're gonna add the ribbon around that first. But this little green strip is from the same designer series paper, just so that you know. But I failed me on 2 different pieces of paper. And I don't think I have that one in the pack, so we're just gonna move on. Okay, so again, we're gonna put that on here, like that. And we're gonna bring it around. And then this will get adhered down to that card base. And you can also see that I used the same die cuts that I did on my previous card. So you're gonna have this little one right here, and then this little one right here. But again, a quick and simple card just by adding cardstock, a layer, and then picking out, like when I chose my layers on this, I chose colors from this paper right here that would make it really shiny, bright, bold, and stick out really nice. So we're going to just cut a little piece of this off, and I'm going to tie it on here like this, and tie it around like that. Then we're just going to trim them off. Okay, and then this is just going to get added on here with some dimensionals. So your music might be done. They may be done. I'm not sure, because her lesson, it goes for an hour, and they started about an hour ago. So the music might be done for the night, ladies, but I'm glad that you enjoyed it. So I'm just going to put this on here like that. And then this one I added down here on the bottom with some more as well. Now this one, when I colored the cute little girl, I used the Flirty Flamingo, sorry, Flirty Flamingo is what I used on this one. And then I used the Pool Party to color her net. You can see here I did the opposite. I used the dark and light crumb cake blends. Then I went back in with the yellow, like this one, she's got highlights, right? All right, so that is what I did on this card. And then the little butterfly here as well. You know, she's trying to catch it, but it's behind her. I thought that was kind of cute. So hi, Peggy. So anyway, and again, another cute one. I agree. It kind of brings us back to, I think, Courtney, we might be aging ourselves on that one, but I totally agree with you. So anyway, love that one as well. Okay. So the next one I'm going to be sharing with you is, I think, one of my favorites. The last 2, I think, are probably my 2 favorites. Again, you know, we all have different favorites, but I love the color scheme on this one, and I don't know why. It just so springy, and you make my heart happy. It just, I don't know, it just called to me when I did these colors. I just really, really liked them. So for this one, I chose, oh, Mary, you're cute. Can't they play longer tonight? I love it. I used the So Saffron. Well, I was worried for nothing, ladies, because when I, like I said, when I knew I had that conflict, I was like thinking, oh gosh, what if they get upset and they leave and not listen to me tonight? I didn't know how loud it would be or not loud. So I'm glad that it wasn't too distracting and that you guys enjoyed it. So this one, again, I wanted to bring in some of the darker yellow, and I don't always use this Mango Melody. So I found it, pairing it with the base of the So Saffron, really kind of add a nice little touch around that, right? So for this, I'm going to adhere this down. Now this little piece right here, I cut 5 by 3 3/4. So it's a little bit bigger than the 5 or smaller than the 5 1/4 by 4, because I wanted to have more of the So Saffron showing on this one. And this is a standard template that I'd use a lot because I like to showcase the paper. I like to showcase the colors and how easy it is to coordinate things. And so these I'm just going to, and I'm a weirdo, I have to do it that way. And then I did also put that ribbon in between. Exactly, Marcia, all your words there. They're exactly why I liked this card. It's just very refreshing, very springy, very, I don't know, I liked it. Okay, so for this, I'm going to just put my adhesive here on the ends again, and making sure this goes right around the center. I'll make sure I glue them down really good. That's the only thing on this. I like to kind of spread it back out along the back and make sure that that gets glued down really good. I love these colors too, and that's why I think this is one of my favorites. Because it does, oh, I know, Shireen, I am so ready for spring, but yet here we are with waiting for more snow to come tonight. So, and that's part of why we upped her lesson as well. Well, she was home because this is our dance winter break. And, oops, see, when you make a mistake, you do it on the other side. So anyway, but I had emailed him and said, yeah, you know, you might want to, I knew we had Natalie's dance banquet from 4 until 6. And so, like I said, I got home from work, all set up down here. And when I messaged him earlier in the day today and said, I'm not sure what your schedule is, but if you wanted to come earlier, you can. And he's like, yeah, what about 6:30? And I went, that works perfect. You know, all I was thinking about was, yep, we're home from the banquet. You know, my Facebook Live has become so routine with me that I don't even really like think about it. So, yeah, we thought about it on the way to the dance banquet. So anyway, thank you, Mary. Yes, thank you for letting me know that, because yes, lefties think about things in unique ways. That's all I got. Okay, and then again, I have a little 1/2 inch of the white, and I'm just going to cut that off, and then that's going to get adhered down here to the bottom with some dimensionals. Now the colors that I chose to use on coloring her, again, I kind of stuck with the same colors. I'll bring the blends in just a minute so that you can see all of them. I couldn't find my silly dimensionals again. So see, I stamped that one crooked, so that's why I did it on the other side. Again, gotta use those paste, 2 sides to every piece of paper, I like to say. So I'm just going to adhere that one down here like that. So what I used on all of these, so this one again, I used the Flirty Flamingo, I used Pool Party, I used, and this one I haven't used yet, it'll get used on my next card, the Petal Pink, and then I used Crumb Cake. That pink's an extra one. Crumb Cake, and then just one yellow. So again, when I go to make my cards, I don't like to have to use 20 different colors. I kind of try to keep them to the same ones, just so that you don't have to think about buying 20 million different sets of blends. So that's what I did on this one. And then I used I changed out the colors of the net, used some of the Crumb Cake. This, I just left her hair all dark with the dark Crumb Cake blend and colored it in, and voila, you have that card. Okay, this is the last one I have for you guys tonight, and we're just about perfect on time. This is also probably, like I said, one of my other favorites. This is a great way to use up scraps. I'm all about using our scraps. So when you saw me make that very first project with the crystal lights, that was a scrap. When I went to look for paper, that was just a scrap of paper. So it made it really easy for me to be able to whip something together with a scrap. Sorry, ladies, had to get a quick drink. Okay. So So these were just some of the scraps of paper, also from that bundle, the same paper that you have from the that Rainbow and Happiness paper. Okay, so for this one, I went with more of the pastels, and I brought in another color that I don't use very often. This one is the Seafoam. I think it's called Soft Seafoam. And I don't use this one very often. And I paired it with the Petal Pink. And then I created a piece of the next layer is the basic white. So you have card base, 5 1/4 by 4, 5 by 3 3/4. Okay. So before I glue that onto the card base, I'm going to show you how I did the little strips. The strips are 1 inch, 1 inch by I think probably 3 1/2, because this one would be 5 by 3 3/4, and I didn't go all the way to the top of these. So I cut 4 different little strips of paper here. Okay, so I chose the colors that kind of coordinated with the base and stuff of the card. So for this, I'm going to go ahead and adhere. Whoops, I got a dimensional in there. I like to start with one side first, and I kind of just eyeball. And that one, you can see I cut the paper the wrong way, but I wasn't going to fix it. For the purposes of showing you guys, my rainbows are just running sideways. But I'm like, nope. After I cut them, I'm like, we're just going to go with it. And then I'm going to put this one on this side. So that way, by starting that way, you can kind of gauge a little bit better how the placement of these should be. Aren't these beautiful colors together? Very springy, very, very pretty. And I'm going to put that one in here like that. And then I'll finish off this one in the middle, and I'll just kind of center it the best I can to have the same amount of space in between there as well. So you can see I probably should have moved them over a little bit. So I still can if I really want to. So if you're not the way you want them, I'm going to leave them. But if you're not the way you want them, I could have moved these ones in a little bit, but it works. You get the gist of it. I again added some ribbon along this right here to the side. Again, love the ribbon on these. Thank you, Carol and Beth and all of you. That I think these colors were perfect together too. And when I design my cards, I know a lot of you hear me say this so much, I try to use different patterns of paper for all of them. So that way, when I run it as like a class or something, and a lot of my classes that you see me post or that I do here on my Facebook Lives, I offer as kits in the mail. So, and I ship them all over the US. Again, you'd have to have the stamp set and things to do your own stamping, but you would get all the pieces and parts and stuff. But I like to be able to use different packs or different pieces of paper, so that way I use up the whole pack, and it gives those of you that are getting the cards and things in the mail, it gives you different ways in which you can use the paper as well. So you're maximizing your paper if you were to choose it for one of your free celebration items. So I'm just going to put this underneath here like that. And I'm going to tie this on. Oh, it seems so quiet now. I kind of got used to them playing too, Mary. And I'm just going to trim off these ends. And then again, same little girl, same adorable little girl here. Putting her on here with dimensionals. The only thing that's different on this is that I colored her with the... Oops, I got to get my comments went away on me because someone messaged me. There we go. I hate that when someone sent me a private message on Facebook and it popped up right in my comments where I'm looking at what all of you were saying. So I had to get that off there. Okay, so I'm just going to put this on with some dimensionals again. And the neat thing is that the dimensionals help hold that ribbon down a little bit. So this one I colored again. I used the ivory for the skin tone. Did the exact same thing, colored with the light petal pink, then the dark as an outline. The same thing with her hair, the same thing with the net. And then again have the celebrate every beautiful thing down here. Same little design. I found that this die worked perfect to be able to stamp the little girl and place her onto that. So I gravitated to that for a lot of the cards. And there you have that one. So let me bring in all of my done cards. Like I said, I didn't take the time to color everything, but let me bring it all in here so you can see them and make sure I have all of my junk out of the way. So we have this one. I'll show you the cute little 3D project last if any of you missed that. So this is all of my projects. And this is the cute little 3D project that I created at the very beginning for any of you that joined me a little bit late. And this is just a cute little holder for crystal light packets. I had mentioned I use crystal light at a lot of my different events and things that I do. So people can put that in their water if they want something other than water to drink. And it was just sitting on my table from an event that I had this past weekend. So I decided to make a cute little 3D project for it and then show you how to use designer paper. I kind of like to think of it as doing the whole paper dolls. I'm aging myself right now. But you just stamp onto a piece of designer series paper. You cut around it and make sure you cut around the stamped lines so that you have that detail. You just glue it on top of the little girl. So it's a neat little way to color or to add texture and design to the dress without having to actually color it. So those are my projects that I created for all of you today. I hope that you like them. Now next week, I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek of what I'm going to be showcasing next week. Now I may have to do my Facebook Live on Wednesday of next week. If I do, I will let you guys know. I will put it out there. I'm not sure if Thursday is going to work for me to be able to do it, but I'll let you guys know. I have an event next weekend, and so I'm still trying to figure out details of when I'm going to be setting up for that event. So that is why I just don't have all those details figured out. But I will be doing a Facebook Live. It just may be on Wednesday, and if it is, I will advertise that well in advance so that you all know. But I'm going to be showcasing a brand new bundle that's available for purchase beginning in March. It is, I forget the name of it, Ocean Wave or something like that. And it is a really pretty bundle that's going to be in our upcoming annual catalog, but will be available for purchase beginning next month. Again, as a demonstrator, I was able to get my hands on it early, and so I've been playing with it, and I've got a few things to share with you and show you using that awesome bundle. So anyway, thank you all so very much for joining me tonight. I'll be posting links in the description if you want to still put in your $50 order to qualify for either the Catching Butterfly stamp set or the Coordinating Designer Series paper. And then anybody who does put in that minimum order will receive 3 of these projects in the mail completed. I can even send you this cute little one if you want me to. I'd have to flatten it a little bit, but I do like to send my projects completed so that they're ready and you're able to just start using them. So anyway, thank you all so very much. I appreciate you joining me tonight, and I look forward to seeing you all back here next week. Again, I will let you guys know for sure if I had to change my date to Wednesday. Bye everyone, and have a wonderful weekend.